Alright, what's going on, Dr. Hammer? Just finished watching The Salesman. Um, Another late night review. I'm kind of on a really messed up sleep schedule, but it is what it is. The Salesman, though, like, that was one of the heaviest movies we've watched for sure. I thought it was really good, though. Like, really well done. There's so many layers to, like, what they were doing in the movie. Just the plot there, like the plot they were trying to tell, and like kind of weaving it in with the death of a salesman story. Um, yeah, there's just a lot to unpack there. But overall, I thought it was so good. But definitely a heavy movie to end the day on. Um, yeah, and I don't know, it just got me thinking a lot. And like, I just took a shower, so I have a bunch of like shower thoughts about the movie. Which I don't know, maybe I'm totally missing the mark, but yeah, like I said, that was really good. Before the movie though, I wasn't too familiar with the death of a salesman, so I just like did a quick read up on it, and I like kind of got the Cliff Notes version. I think a lot of what I got from it was what they were trying to cover in the movie. But yeah, like the biggest thing that jumped out to me was just sort of like how this movie was set in like Eastern culture, and like how different it would be if this were a Western, a Western movie. Because like the main the guy, like the main character, would have, like, rather than being seen as this like this guy who's like messing up, or like not as noble, like I feel like in a Western movie he'd be seen as like the hero, avenge, like getting revenge for his wife, or like something like that. And that's like what I initially thought of too. Like if I were in his situation, I have like the guy who I have reason to believe like he attacked my wife, I would just like whoop his ass. Like it wouldn't even be a thought. But like just the idea of revenge in that culture is more of, it's more frowned upon. It's not like a noble thing like it is here. So I thought that was really cool. Also, yeah, like, so from what I gathered, like the death of the salesman, I feel like there's like a lot of themes in that, but one of them was just about like pursuing, pursuing wealth, pursuing, like trying to be well liked, and just like what we consider in like Western culture to just be like success. And I thought like the whole time, you're thinking that the salesman, like the salesman character is going to be represented through our main guy, but at the end, I feel like I started sort of see it as like maybe it was him and the old man represent the salesman, like two different sides of it, because like the old guy who's cheating on his wife, and in the death of a salesman, like he's cheating on his wife and his son finds out, and he ends up dead and all that. But I was sort of thinking of as like maybe both the main character and the old guy could represent the salesman, because in that story he, like I said, just doesn't have respect for his family, like loses his job, and he ends up dying. In the movie, we have like this guy is in pursuit of, like, our main character is in pursuit of revenge, which is, not something that is noble there. It's like kind of seen, maybe that we could see that as like a Western ideal of like, nobility. And in that pursuit, he just completely forgets about his wife, like, the trauma that she's going through, and he puts his, like inner desire for revenge above that, like above worrying about his wife's well-being and like recovery, and steps through trauma. And in all that, like, he has the weight of, he essentially kills this guy at the end, but then like the weight of, that family is always going to feel indebted to him because they think he saved his life, when in actuality he probably like killed him. Then like his wife probably left him. I think that's what they were hinting at. He messed up his relationship with his friend, um, the one who gave him the apartment. It looks like his class, like, his students also lost a lot of respect for him. So I was like, yeah, wow, like his life is screwed up. Like he didn't end up dying like the death of the salesman, but this guy who represents cheating on his wife and all of that stuff, like he ends up dying. I don't know. Maybe I'm not really going anywhere with that. Um, but yeah, I think that just the culture differences like really stood out to me, and like how this movie would have been totally different if it took place in in the U.S. Um, but yeah, like I said, there's so many levels to it too. Um, Also, just like I didn't really know what they were like with the wife like not wanting to come forward with like and tell the police or like tell any authority about like what happened to her. Um, I thought like maybe they were trying to unpack just like the layers of like trauma and recovery. Um, like maybe like what's the best way to go about that, or if that was like in this culture like it may not like go over as well or whatnot. So I don't know. I thought that was also interesting. But yeah, like I said, overall, really great movie. I think there's a lot to talk about in it. A lot that I still haven't fully processed, but yeah, excited to see what everyone else has to say. But yeah, sounds good.